this button, all shall be well. Possibly. Yes. Let me grab the link. Streamy do. Streamy link. Screamy link. Pat's on night shift. Sucks to be Pat. Pat's always like on his phone at work, so Pat, you should just get in here anyway. Yeah, you gonna squeeze in here. Oh, see, we have baby. We have small bean. We have even smaller bean. Benny.
Look at this integrated family.
Jesus Christ.
What? It wasn't mean. Come on, Lafayette, give Benny some. Not that kind of love. Jesus Christ. Hello, everybody.
Benny. Aww.
Lafayette's antsy.
Hi. I'm surprised Benny's not like, get away! Get away! They multiplied. It was by the one with last instruction. Am I out of the loop? I heard wrong. You have a kid. No. Sorry. This is the boy. This right here. This is our child. This is our child. Although, Audrey was not over during the last under instruction. March of 22. Okay. Well, I still don't have it.
I have something to tell you.
I guess I still technically have it. Are you pregnant?
I am pregnant.
You're pregnant? Alright, well...
That would have been awful.
Well, you're in charge of these two boys while I do this. Make sure they don't do anything bad.
Big.
And if they do, you're cleaning it up. I cleaned up like the last 6 messes.
I can't get down on my knees.
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay, sure.
I hope we are finishing up this segment today. We may be. I have a couple things on my to-do list. I don't think it's actually going to be done, but I think we're going to get real close. The first things are switch stands, actually. I started up there, but switch stands at the creameries and in West Oak Cliff, and there's a bent rail up at, Shoreline says he believes in you. There's a bent rail up the way. Better not be doing like poopy circles.
I'm doing tail circles.
Oh, okay. Alright, so we need to get into the route layer. We need to grab some switch stands like this one.
The thing is, short line, I don't believe in myself.
You don't need to. Don't believe in you. Believe in me who believes in you. We need to get the switches in here. Let's see. I'm probably going to go with green amber. I don't have like a setup code for this. I know Mason does because he's like smart and stuff. But...
Mason takes the line. Said that Mason takes the line.
No.
Is he just going to chill in your lap?
I guess so. So, what is the plan for the next section is a good question. The short version is we're going about 15 miles in this general direction, so like a west by southwest direction, and that's about it. It's going to be going up in elevation a little bit. It's going to be mostly through farmland and things of that nature. And there's going to be one little town along the way. That's it. Trust me, Brady. Me too. I have been waiting also. I'm glad that I get to do this 2 to 3 hours a week so that we can make genuine, actual, real progress on this sort of thing. And we have been making progress based on where we are. But I'm assuming no narrow gauge this part. No, next part does not have any narrow gauge in it. If you stick around to the end of the stream, I can pull up the map and we can talk about it. But the biggest thing is, I need to download and install Trains 2022. Because, I'm also going to use these here. Because the, oh wait, sorry, no, these wouldn't be this. This is interlocking controlled, so I need a switch motor. this. Geiger Mountains. Yeah, no, I need to get my hands on 2022. I have it technically. I own it because I do the subscription. So I have Trains Premium, so I have access to it. But I have not done anything to try and get my hands on it. So the thing is, as long as this is done-ish, as long as this is as done as it is, because we're really not going to be doing much more than this, then we're going to save this, export it, and upload it onto the DLS for Trains 2019, and then move up to Trains 2022, and maybe, I guess, we can normalize this one version of the route for one version of Trains, and by the time Trains 2065 comes out, Trains 2042 comes out, then maybe we'll have this route half done. Well, who said that up there? Oh, hello, Pilot Jack. Like Sherry said, it should be coming in like a month or two, so you can get your hands on it then if you don't feel like doing the subscription.
Could you put some raccoons in the outskirts?
I already put a raccoon in. I put a raccoon in for you, didn't I?
Yeah. Horse.
So a cow in a yard named Bessie, eating a plant. Though it's called these 3 lemon trees are called the lemon stealing whores. They each have a name. One is lemon, one is stealing, one is horse. You know. Hi, Benny. Benny's climbing up. Benny's climbing on me. So, I know everybody wants a narrow gauge. Normally, or back in the olden days, I used to do a vote. Don't lick the desk. For like what segment do we want to do next? But I'm not doing that anymore because of the way this route is. I feel like it's much more important to build segments in a way that not only enhances the usability of the route. So if I build another Geiger Mountains, or sorry, another Gilson Eastern section, it's going to extend that main line more, and so you get more of that main line running. It's also going to be probably measurably easier to build than this section, because there'll be a lot less in the way of things like interlining, and so, you know, having the 2 different lines that overlap here, and then also the trolley line. There's going to be less of that. There's going to be, yeah, waiting on that Gelgora section. I wish I still had that big map of what Old Tolbrand was supposed to be. Or, sorry, Tamaros was supposed to be. But, oh well. That map, man. I used to have the vote to do that, but there are reasons why I'm going with this first. Part of it is just my gut. Part of it is there's a voice in my head that says, hey, this is the part that makes the most sense. But obviously, that's not just coming out of nowhere. That's for a reason, and the reasons are the usability, like I said, the ease of construction. I think it should be done relatively quickly compared to the previous sections, or previous section, I suppose. The other bit is that it helps me gauge the size of things going forward. If we start building inland really quickly, it's going to be tougher to make sure that everything is lined up the way it needs to be. So I don't have to do... Yeah, I don't have to do a lot of terrain. That is one of the other parts. And yeah, no, it's just... If I can pull up the map, which, again, I will later if anybody's still around, if you have to step out, just check back in at, like, 5 of 10 Eastern, so in about 2 hours and change, 2.25 hours, I'll be probably bringing up the map and talking about it, because if we get enough done, then yes, I'll be exporting this and moving on. I think enough is done for me to export it. Generally speaking, I think that the little scenery things that we have to take care of that's all that needs to be done. And on the scenery side, it will remain an unfinished route. It's going to be an unfinished route.
You got some moss.
Hmm?
You got some stuff showing through over here.
Where? Oh, good catch. Um, it's gonna come out the way it looks. You know, it's I'm not gonna go crazy and make sure everything's polished off. And in future versions, we can come back and just sort of take care of things. But I'd like to get on with learning the new aspects of Surveyor, that sort of thing. The new aspects of the new Surveyor, like Melis copy paste trees. Well, see, the thing is, the next area is not going to be a ton of trees, and I'm going to need to do some investigation for this because I don't have a ton of practical real life experience with the kind of scenery that I'm going to be digging into. Now, most of my trains, I guess you could call it career, to this point, has been building routes that are much more like my home turf of New England, which is hills, trees. Um, even when I tried to be extravagant, it just came down to hills and trees, which is a pretty fair measure for most of the United States, but it isn't everything. And even with this world being an analog of the 1950s, there should be generally more open spaces than I have built, because the timber will not have grown back in this amount of time. Which, my excuse, at least for this area, sort of north of, on the north side of the peninsula, is that everything was cleared out. See that? Everything was cleared out by the hurricane of 78, 1878, and the the trees just sort of all grew back in the last 50 years or so, or 70 years or so. I also am realizing upon saying that I am using a system of years that is analogous to our own, and I have previously stated that I don't think that's a good thing to do in a um, fictional context, especially if you're going to be straying from the world a little bit technologically, which, in fairness, I'm not really doing that much technological lore here, so it doesn't really matter. I noticed, but I still love you. You can send me to horny jail. That's what I should have wrote on my Valentine.
You didn't give me them.
I know.
But it's okay, we went on a dinner twin.
I got you flowers.
You did give me flowers. You helped me in. Are you gonna fill it all in with grass?
This all does need to be trees for the most part, although I wrote an F here for a farm. There's also this castle over here.
Can't you just like copy these trees?
Yes, I just don't want to dig in too quickly if I want some open area. All the highways follow the rails of random patches of trees, random hills and fields. Yeah, I'm just going to need to do some looking at real life analogs for what I'm trying to build. The thing with this is, I could just go nuts and just tree this whole area, or I could do something like what I did over here, which is areas that are too steep to have trees don't have trees. And I'll cover them with grass, etc. So, yeah, I wrote a meme template here. Look, another one. The Russian bots are really out today. Which is funny, because you'd think they'd be busy invading Ukraine. So, let me check my to-do list again. So we fixed the bent rail. We did the switch stands. If anything else comes up, then we can write all that down. The passenger station names. Okay, so that has to happen. I think the passenger station names on the trolley line are all okay. But I do need to bring these passenger stations up to the standards. MVGE Mason Valley. These two should be fine. MVGM Mason Valley, those are fine. Yes. I think I said maybe. So there's no station here, not anymore anyway. Next one is over here. Oh, these two tracks. Do I smell? Yeah, I know. Okay, so now we need to pull up my standards. Standards right here. Switches, facilities, track marks, industry, station track, town, railroad, name, track. Okay, so this is MLGE, Mason's Landing 1. Oh, wait, is this done a specific way? Because I would want to set it up for the custom, or sorry, the other doodad. Railroad name. Yeah, so we'll do it like this. We'll put it in parentheses. Like that. That is so that it doesn't make sense at a station like this, but in the case, it's also Mason's Landing, not Mason Valley. Oh, I didn't screw that up. I thought I did. MLGE Mason's Landing 2. Everything else can stay. Those are fine. Yeah, no, it is true that too steep for trees is sometimes a relatively rare thing. I've seen some crazy stuff out in the Berkshires as well, but I've also seen a lot of sort of slab-sided areas or stone-sided areas where there are not trees, where you might possibly think that, well, trees should be able to grow there if there was dirt, but there's no dirt there. I guess something must have happened. Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. So, okay, let's do this one. OLGE Olive. Oh, this is northbound. Okay, so which direction is track 1 here? I think northbound is odd and southbound is even. So that would make this track 4. But I have an easy way I can check, other than by just clicking on one of these signals. Alright, I was wrong. Oh wait, no, I was right. I just forgot which way is north. OLGE Olive. And this is track 4. That's not a 4. Okay. The passenger stations are the only ones where I don't really care that much about what the industry config is. It doesn't make that much of a difference. Okay, for you. OL VM. I think it's the first time we've titled anything VM, just about. VM, Olive, and that's it. There's no track 1 or track 2 because they're just built into the station. Is this titled right? I'm sure it is, but I was just thinking about how I've not done... Oh, okay, because it's just named after the town, not the railroad. Here's Adams. So this is AD, I think. I'm not sure if I set a prefix for Adams. I did. It is AD. AD Geiger Mountain, sorry, Volga Mountains, Adams 1. Actually, it's just Adams. There's only one track, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know why.
Matt, are you being held hostage? Press Y for yes and N for no.
No, just put 2 dots for yes and 1 dot for no. You don't want to make it too obvious.
Oh.
I'm just trying to think of the bear with me meme, uh, which I actually saw again earlier today, but I can't conjure it up off the top of my head. Okay, so the flag stop for Lionhead is over here. So this is LH for Lionhead. I'm pretty sure. Matt puts a lot of dots, so that sounds like he's very hostage. Vulgar Mountains, flag stop. We'll just call it. Or sorry. Hi, Benny. What? Is the driver lost?
He's in freaking Warwick.
Well, that's the wrong way. He must have got on the highway going the wrong way. Or he's just taking the food and leaving, which, it's Apsara. I wouldn't really blame him. Okay, so the station... Is that all the passenger stations? There are not that many. We got that one. The Triumph ones are all done. That one's done, that one's done, that one's done. We don't have another town along here to stop at. Yeah. Okay. Time to finish the industries for Lionhead and beyond. Starting with this one, which we have not actually decided what it's going to be. Ryan, I hope you're watching. Elvira Valley Grain. So, real quick, what can we make at Elvira Valley Grain? We have a bunch of stuff we can put in a hopper. We just have, honestly, I would say too many choices. I think I'm gonna go with, well, we could just go with barley, which is already being used around here at the brewery, but I kind of want something that isn't being used around here, just to shake things up a little bit. So let's see, we've got the covered hopper. We don't want to be making flour. We probably could get away with grain HP. Grain HP is probably the way to go. Now, what industries use grain straight away? I mean, someplace that makes dough, right? What industrial... I guess like an industrial bread maker would be a huge user of grain. So we can have that. Let me just put that down in my ideas for Gilson City. Gilson City. In industry. Industrial bread maker. I guess. Hi, Benny. Livestock feed. Corn. Yeah, so animal feed. Plants use grain. Animal feed and seed plants. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I'm going to go with the grain to the industrial bread maker for now, though. So, we have grain and grain HP. I don't think I've used either one of them yet, which, let me just double check in my commodity balance. No, I haven't. I don't know which one is the right one. Oh god, yeah, unlimited bread works. That is what we need to call it. Good point. Hold on, let me put that in my ideas. We are absolutely going to be doing this. So that's that grain. It looks like crap. Get rid of that. How about... Yeah, we'll do that. I feel like the grain HP is used in a lot more things. Oh, I probably broke the industry, didn't I? Urgh! Okay. Hold on. Grab this. Delete it. Banana bread, perhaps. Oh my god! We already have Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to put a banana bread place somewhere else, though. Um, maybe in Wombeck. We'll just put it in Wombeck or something. Uh, or mill. See, I don't. I was originally gonna have a paper mill in Wombeck, and I'm not sure if I want to do that anymore. I might want to put it in the Summit or something, because it makes sense it would be up there, but okay, hold on. I need to organize my spreadsheet here, and I know you guys can't see it, or not spreadsheet, my document here. Industry ideas: industrial bread maker, newspaper, or news. What would you call it? Just a paper company, a newspaper company. I mean, and what was the other one? Oh, a banana bread, but I don't want that to be in Gilson City. So, same with the Pulpwood has taken over the summit. Over the summit? Because that's what I wrote down. I don't think that's a good idea. Um, brick factory. We do have a brick commodity. We have a clay commodity, I'm pretty sure. We do need a sulfuric acid place. I just don't know where to put that. I know we need to. Hey Ace, we need to think about where these things are going. But again, we need to figure out where we're putting this banana bread place first. And I can shuffle it around. I'm thinking banana bread. I'll just put it in. I'll just put it in Gilson City for now. Banana bread maker. Not here. I don't know. See, originally I've written that Wombeck is going to take a good amount of the lumber that Olive produces, but I think we should have that somewhere else and use Wombeck as like a paper milling city. Because usually you don't get lumber transported that far. Um, I would think. Although what do we use lumber for? We just have lumber, just lumber. Yeah, we will use the we will use that. So I'm just gonna cross this out for now about the lumber in Wombeck. And Wombeck is going to be based on paper milling. Anyway, let's do this with Grain HP. Grain HP. Important question before I click this button. Let me go to the content manager. Grain HP. Switch to organize by name. And we're also going to switch this over. I wish this could be done automatically. Just so that you can see what I see. List dependents. So we have quite a few things. We have boxcars, we have hoppers, butt ton of hoppers, honestly. So that's cool. Regular grain. See, this one's built in, this one's packaged. List dependents. Wait, are you serious? Oh yeah, no kidding. What am I saying then? Why would I want that? If I go over here to my freight cars and loads, I only have grain HP. Why didn't I just pick that immediately? What's wrong with me? Okay, we're switching back to this screen. So we're 100% doing grain HP because it's the one that actually works. We need to switch products to be items. There we go. Queues, we're going to go with 120,000. Weigh bill of 50%. Start with 60K in the bank. Tracks, multiple pickup drop off. You're going to load it into the vehicle. processes. Oh, right. Hold on. We need to produce the stuff first. So 21,600 to produce 30,000. No, sorry. 15,000. It's 1/4 of 60K. Benny's still on my lap, by the way. Let's switch over to seed really quick. Let's go with the 2-bay ACF covered hopper Gilson Eastern. I need to start using more of the cars that are, built in to Doodad. Grain HP. Fill it up. There we go. Oh, we also need to name the industry. That's another important thing. So, you know what? We're just going to keep it on screen view for a little bit, because I'm going to be switching back and forth a lot. This is... I'm going to call it Lionhead, and I'm just going to double check on the the standards here. For abbreviation for an industry track, town or railroad, name, use. So, actually, I think I'm just going to go Volga Mountains, Elvira Valley, Grain. And that's all we need to do. He is a good boy. He's a pain in the butt. There's peas everywhere, but he's a good boy. So now we need to put that in the spreadsheet. Spreadsheet, everyone's favorite. Industries. It's a producer industry. It's in the Olive Home Yard area. It is on the VMR main line, which is a brand new location. Grab that, move it down. Olive, oh, doesn't go there. Doesn't go there. Undo, undo. It's not a brand new location because it's right there. Okay, yeah. Olive, VMR mainline, Elvira Valley Grain, Grain HP. And we will just copy this from something else. We don't have anything else that produces 60,000. So 60,000, 60,000. We want to copy the format from something. Whatever. Let's just put it in the middle and call it a day. And now we need to add it to the commodity balance because we don't have it here either. Okay. GR. Insert one row above. Grain HP. Oh, you know what? I need to, it uses a VLOOKUP, so I don't even need to do that. That's not right. %, I want you in that. Not the boxcar, please. And these guys, pull that down. 1 carload. Pull this down. Not perfectly balanced as all things should be. I'm gonna keep doing that, guys. Okay, back to this. Lionhead oil drop off. So this is LH. We need a name for this place. Does anybody have a name? We're pretty fresh in the stream. Oh, you know what? You know what? I got a name for it. LH Benny's Oil and Gas. Or just Benny's Oil. We'll go with Benny's Oil. We're gonna want to load diesel fuel. Hey, Stellar. Diesel fuel. We don't want it in tons. We want products, obviously. Items. Diesel fuel. What is the thing for diesel fuel? Forget every time. 32,000. So that means this has to be 64,000. Sorry, Benny. Weight bill of 50%. Can you guys see him? No, you can't. Benny. Hi, Benny. That's just where he's been. That's where he is. Okay, your breath is rancid, though. Also, I am slouching, and if I fix my posture, I want you to still be able to see me. You can. I've just got a little bit of headroom. A little bit more than maybe I should have. It's always impossible to get that right. Diesel fuel, unload from vehicle, processes. You're going to consume, let's see, diesel fuel at a rate of, well, 32,000 divided by 4 is 8K. 21, oops, 600. I could make that a lot, oh, that's 6,000, my bad. I could make that a lot shorter, but I'm doing this, I guess, so the game doesn't have to calculate too much stuff all the time. This place, we don't have an industry link. Presumably because you can't industry link this. It's a default colliery. Produced every 30 seconds. Oh, what the heck are these? Haven't seen those in anything before. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. We'll just, hi, Benny. So, LH, Lionhead Colliery, lumber drop-off. That's all that needs to be. LH, oops, home. LH, Lionhead Colliery. We'll just leave it as that, because why not? I can switch back to the route layer, by the way, before I add something in the wrong place. You are gonna be insane, because there's no way to really limit this thing. It produces every 30 seconds, so back to our calculator really quick. If the time for production is 30 seconds, it's gonna produce a lot of times per day. In fact, I want it to make at least sort of an even number of... Are you trying to jump down? Here, hold on. I'll put you on the couch. Here you go. Lay down. Lay down, Benny. Nope, he's jumping down. He's off to find Gloria. I think he just jumped on the bed. Okay, that's the difficult part with this. I need to get it balanced right. Currently it's 10,000, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, look at that. That's ridiculous. If I make that, it's 288K, which our carload is 69,294. I know you've seen this one before, but that's just humor me for a second. 69,294. I want to get close to this. This is 4 carloads. 4 carloads of coal. Although we can get real close to 3, or to 2 rather. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought it went the wrong way. Oops. 48. 138. It's very, very close. But I don't want it running out, so we're going to go with 49. Time for production. Yeah, so we'll do... What is that? That's 2 carloads. No, let's go higher than that. So let's try 98. We're trying to get close to this. Let's try 97. Ooh, getting closer, 96. No. That is tantalizingly close. 97. What about... Was this times 5? Okay, that's too much. Let's try 125 or 120. 121. No. 120 is too small, 121 is too large. it's... I thought it would be able to get more granular, which it kind of is, but it's not getting granular in the way that I would have hoped. So we'll just go with 97, or sorry, yeah, 97. We'll go with 97. And your start amount is going to be 277, 167, or 176. Or actually, 279, 360 is an easier one. I did it again. 279, 360. I don't know if there's a maximum. I guess there is. It's 1,000,000. And it's slowly going to fill up over the course of several runs of the simulation, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. Meanwhile, this is lumber, which we can only really do... Yeah, so we're just going to have a drop off 4 things of lumber. Lumber. We're also going to switch it back to this, just for the minute. Mostly so that I can see the chat also and not make a mess. Waybill 50% as always. Let's go with a queue of size 8. Let's start with 4 of them. For that we need to switch back to items. 4 items available at this present time. It's going to consume lumber. Come on, unload from the vehicle. Processes consume the lumber. Every 21,600. Consume 1 items. Okay. So there's another location for lumber to go. Technically it should be treated wood, but we're not going to worry about that. Now we need to put 1, 2, 3 items in. We also need this, which is the, yeah, so we're not, I didn't put a multiple industry here, did I? Doesn't seem like it. There's no arrows there, so I don't know why I'm trying to click on it. Okay, we need to grab, we have it already. Get rid of that. What have I done? There wasn't, okay, never mind. Won't you forget about me? Spin this guy in. That is pretty dang close to what I needed to be, where I needed to be. That is not what I want to happen. I don't understand. Oh, I understand now. I just need to put this back over there. Let's go! Spin this guy around like so. Alright. Connect this guy up, and this is, I think, possibly the last industry we have to do over here, at least that I can think of. If there are more, if there's anything that I've forgotten, speak now or forever hold your peace. I don't think I'm going to have us deliver anything to the work site over here, even though I did set up a spur for it potentially being used like that. I guess I'll just throw it down anyway. I mean, what are we going to put here? We're going to bring, like, steel girders or something for the bridge. The bridge is already done, so what does it matter? I could have the bridge not be all the way done. That would be a way to do it. I don't know. I'm actually thinking about this now. I could cut the bridge back to right here and be dropping off steel beams for the bridge. But these things are usually, I don't know. I don't know. We'll come back to that one. If you guys have strong feelings one way or the other, say something. Okay, so back to this. This is a freight house. It's going to be taking in freight. So, LH Freight House. That's it. That's all it is. LH Freight House. Lord Huron Freight House. So, adding the Q General Goods, we need to click on the right one. That was the wrong one. Let's try this again. Oh, apparently there's no exit without saving. We're screwed. Watch this. And it's dead. Grab you. Thankfully, it wasn't particularly annoying the first time around. There should be one railroad that does right side running, because why not? You mean left side running? That's actually a good idea. I just don't know how I would implement that, because just about all the railroads share tracks. So, would I make it... So we've already established that the Gilson Eastern and Volga Mountains do not. Then again, the Volga Mountains does not have a significant amount of double track portions. So the only thing I can think of is maybe the New Shoreham Tramway does it on the island, and only on the island, just for kicks. But maybe the Zion and Skyline, make the trolley go left-handed, yeah. Maybe the Zion and Skyline would, because they're just sort of weird. And it could be a carryover from the Akron-Macon Railroad doing it, which would be an interesting thing to write in their history. Let me write this down. To the ideas document. Do I have a... I don't. So let me just write in a header for Zion and Skyline, and left hand running holdover from Akron-Macon Railroad practices. Skyline. Loop for coal trains to run around. You can only leave the yard in one direction. Yeah, okay. Milk pools in Olive. Does anybody know anything about how milk trains used to be run? Maybe a portion of the railroads did left-hand running, so it's only in one segment. Yeah, does anyone know anything about how milk trains used to be run? Because I want to know how where it would go. Like, where was the commodity chain from there? I mean, obviously it would go to, like, a local creamery and then be, to a local distribution point and then be distributed out from there. I just don't know if it would go to Gilson City more than likely, or if it would go to something else. I guess it would make sense to go to Gilson City, although I don't know how far milk went. It would make sense that it would go to Gilson City, because they would be the most milk-starved place. So, yeah, they were express trains. Yeah, milk pools, milk Milk trains run overnight from creameries to Gilson City. Now I need to put an industry in Gilson City for accepting the milk. Milk distributor. Yeah, no, the milk trains are important trains because it's a perishable commodity, like extremely perishable compared to most commodities that ship on railroads. Let's see, general goods of this type is 40 units. Tracks, general goods, unload from vehicle, processes, consume general goods at a rate of... Oh, whoops. Oh, sorry. Yeah, consume 10 every 21,600. Right? Are they 40? Okay, yeah, and they would be distributed via that. Okay, I'm thinking of the larger operations. Yeah, no kidding. It's been a very truck heavy industry because of how perishable it is. Even with modern pasteurization and etc. and a refrigerated storage, what have you. So that's in. We do need to put in a couple of flat cars here for this, which if I'm checking, or if I remember right, are the 50-foot PRR flat cars. Lumber. Scroll on over. Yeah, 50-foot flat car PRR. I do want to put in 2 of them here. They're just going to be empty. Wait, really? This is the one we're using for this? Seems like overkill. But, okay. And then we have some... Oh, whoops. Hold on. That's supposed to be on the seed layer. Anyone noticing reefer car isn't work as much less than a single reefer trailer? Yeah. Suppose I pick up what you're put down. What you are put down. And then PC these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 big hoppers, I mean. What can you say? And they're going to be loaded at the start, so those have got to go somewhere. They barely fit under there, too. We need a tank car to go over there. What kind is that? Diesel fuel. Diesel fuel is carried in Texaco 3-dome HW tank. Oh, lucky you. I still have to work tomorrow. Okay. Back to route layer. We need to go put these industries in the spreadsheet, so back to other view. Boop. Starting with, well, what do we have for Lionhead in already, if anything? Industries. Consumer industries. We don't have anything in for Lionhead at all. We have 3 consumer industries and 1 producer industry. So it'll be under here, right? Three consumer industries. Olive, Lionhead. We'll drag these 3 down. Consumer industry number 1 is Benny's Oil. Diesel fuel. That's fine. It's actually going to be the exact same as this. Second thing is this just called Freight House, or is it Lionhead Freight House? Oh, it's not called anything. I'll just call it Freight House. So that means the next thing is Lionhead Colliery, coal. Oh, it's a consumer, so lumber. And the next thing is, just kidding, I forgot how the alphabet worked for a minute. I was thinking Lionhead Freight House, whatever. Pretend that didn't happen. General goods in crate. Obviously, it's not going to be this many, but because that'll sure blow up the thing on the other sheet. So 4 and 4. General goods in crate, we're talking 40 and 40. That's going to mess with the commodity balance a little bit more. The other thing I need to do is throw in the ideas sheet here. We have to have the goods converter in to out. Important. It's just going to be a buttload of warehouses. It's going to be a whole, like, warehouse district. Steel milling in Zion. And to think about the arrangement of things exactly. Because I'm not sure where the mills exactly are going to be. I guess they could be in Zion, and I'm not sure if they're going to be in there or in Tombstone. I don't think I have a thing listed down for what's going to be in Tombstone. Anyway. Universal. Well, no, that's fine, Matt. Help your sister, help your family. Family first. Tolbrand not first. Okay. So those guys are in. Colliery needs to go in on the other side of things. That's not the spreadsheet. Industries. So it's going to be underneath GERR main line. So grab this, pull it down. Olive. Lionhead. Lionhead Colliery. Coal. And we are producing a little bit more than a carload, which is kind of an issue, but it's not going to be a big deal. So let me just double check. Oops. Back to the industry calculator. What are we doing? 279, 360. And same here, 279, 360. I can't push it up any higher by any means, like within the game. So, by like delivering stuff to it, you know. This means it can be changed. This means it's automatic. That's right. Okay. Now the other thing that I'm realizing is the next section we're going to be going into areas that's not Olive's home yard, so the spreadsheets are going to get exponentially more difficult to deal with. Simple solution, don't have a sister. Don't, I don't know what that entails, but I'm not advocating for it. So, also I'm going to name this nothing so that it stops showing up. And that marks off all of the Lionhead Industries. The other thing that we can do is just seed stuff and work on some scenery, which, man, can I tell you how much I don't want to work on scenery right now? We're an hour and a half, well, we're like an hour in. And my eyes are really dry for some reason. I could not tell you why. We did fix the end of day problem. We still have to do the 24-hour test. But I don't know when I want to do that. Let me actually think about my schedule really quick. So, really need to make the bacon line, actually. this weekend, or at least on Monday. Obviously, tomorrow's community play date. Sunday might do it. I might run the 24-hour test starting on Saturday night, ending on Sunday night when I get back. So if you guys are ready for that, you're going to be following a trolley around for a real long time, and if something goes wrong, you got to report it. I'm running out of... Baby? Could you get me some water, please? Okay. So, scenery goals are done. Although, yeah, here's the deal. We do need to set out some proper scenery. Thank you.
Fucking gonna kill this DoorDash driver.
Could you just fill up my pineapple, please?
Listen. What, you too masculine to drink out of a pink cup?
No, it just tastes like 7 different things.
Listen, I scrubbed that cup to the freaking car!
That's why I don't put anything but water in the pineapples.
Tastes like juice. Tastes like ginger ale.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. What is the community play date? We're doing open TTD, just vanilla stuff. At 7 o'clock on Fridays, as always. Community play date. Yeah, you got to be FanRag in the Discord server, and then you can be a part of the community play date. It's a lot of fun. Come join. It's not. We usually don't get too mad at each other, although no promises, right? Oh, there is cheesecake in the fridge. Hell yeah.
That's not your dinner.
Oh. You can take this back. Thank you. I'm giving you your dang water back. I love her so much. Okay, we need a gravel road. I actually didn't want this one, but we've been using this one an awful lot, so. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that in the first place. It was an idea. For a while. We need to go up this way, and I think I'm going to build a little... Two people fell down my attic stairs over the past weekend. Yeah, and one person a day. In a span of 2 days, 2 people fell down the stairs. It was not Gloria nor I. It was Gloria's best friend and Gloria's brother. And yeah. Handmade roads. Define what... Oh, like drawing in the lines myself? Is that what you're saying? Because considered it, yes. Would I do it? No. That is way too much work for me. So, oh crap. I've thought about doing hand striping for things like parking lots, etc. But it's not the kind of thing that I feel like investing time into. I really am searching for techniques that are more like that help me get done a much larger task in a shorter time. Hi, Pat. Hope work's going good. Which things like copy pasting the trees or even tree splines. Someday I may go back and redo this map with tree splines so that people can actually run it. But that's the sort of thing where That's like a big, oh, maybe one of these days I'll go back and do that. Who knows? I make no promises on that front, that's for sure. But that's the kind of thing where, maybe that is the kind of angle I need to be playing, where it's what what can help me get done this gargantuan task in a slightly faster time, slightly more reasonable time scale than the next 25 years. And that's without altering my life substantially to actually, like put more than 3 hours of work a week into this, because I'm not, that time doesn't exist. I don't have more time to dedicate to this. Uh, I would love to, but it is not going to happen. So that's a reality I've got to live with. Part is made a 64 tail switching around the Ren, both worse than this route. Oh, well, you try so hard and you get so far, or whatever. I'm spending an awful lot of time building a road. But that's the thing, you get to a point where you start having to make some bold decisions on what your map's going to look like. Uh, and you just got to go with it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I've been sitting here ruminating over like what this area is going to be like for quite some time, and now it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is and actually build a road to a castle. I mean, only thing is, this is way too much cutting and embankmenting for a little tiny road like this. So we're going to have to use the plateau tool. We're going to have to turn the density up to a pretty moderate amount. Um, we'll just have to go up the way like this. See, this is something I can do by hand. This is something that's not terrible to do by hand, especially with a small road like this. Want to explain where there's a castle? Okay, in short, Google Gillette Castle in Connecticut, and that's basically the same reason. Just somebody who had too much money, too much time in their hands, and wanted a castle, so they built a castle. And now it's a tourist attraction. Which, that's my first explanation. I may come back someday and give a better one, but that's my explanation. This thing is obviously way bigger than Gillette Castle, so it doesn't necessarily make sense as a rich guy wanting a castle, but it's tough to get all these castle pieces and then build a small castle. That is absolutely the American dream, yes. We all want and need castles. In fact, uh, I hear Elon Musk is going to be talking about his new electric castle that everyone can buy. It's also an NFT, uh, and I don't know. Every day it tells you how much it hates you. So, yeah, there's your castle explanation. It's not a great one, but it's the one you're getting. So, enjoy it. There's starving kids in Africa who don't get castle explanations. Hell, there's probably starving kids in Connecticut that don't have the castle explained to them. Not a fan of Europe, so American castles it is, yeah. What about Hogwarts Castle, though? Okay, this part I will do this on. Also, have I been on the wrong layer this whole time? No. Thank goodness. I really want this to be the more prominent embankment of the two. And I also need a road that goes down here. Just like peels off of this. Okay, I know I can't do that. Thanks. and goes across this ditch. I was talking about the train. Um, we need a bridge that I think I used last over here crossing the Deer Run. Because I like road networks. There's the bridge. Timber Bridge. We'll go with a narrow version. Castle over here. That's to get to the farm. And then this is to get to the castle. Same deal, very narrow. And we need to continue up this way. So I wanted the castle to be visible from the tracks, which it, I guess, is just barely. We can probably go this way and loop around up there. Yeah, that'll do it. This is my favorite part, just doing the civil engineering work. No wonder this is my day job. I mean, it sort of isn't, but... Man, I was preaching some real anti-work stuff at work today. Which is... maybe something you don't want to be doing while you're at work. But I was just trying to tell my coworker, like, the company doesn't own you. Like, deadlines don't own you. If stuff gets too hard, just piss off. Like, if they're asking you to work like a 60-hour week or whatever, work overtime, just say no and don't. Because they're not gonna fire us. They're strapped for people as is. They really can't get away with firing us. It's like the principle of going on strike, but we're not, like, there's nothing, like, we're not going on strike or anything. We just are gonna go home at 5 o'clock. That's it. Okay, so make this turn. Probably want to sink it into the ground just a little bit, just to make it a little more little easier to deal with. And I do want to try to get it as close to the ground as I can before I start digging away at stuff. Because, well, it's got to make sense as a road. Whoa. You know, even on a windy road, it's not going to be all weirdly aligned. It's going to have straights and then curves, straight curve, straight curve, straight curve, more or less. Sometimes you'll get a neat little curve thrown in there. But there's no such thing as a straight. Like, there's no such thing as two straight pieces in a row, because you know what you call that? A bigger straight piece. It sounds like Gloria finally got their food. Oh, never mind. I thought you were opening the door to get the food. Listen, just don't go out and jump him, please. What? The dogs are being rascals. And this is why you go to college, or at least I think. I did go to college, which is, I guess, part of why I'm not really replaceable. But I'm also not replaceable because we have a real crappy manager who manages to make everybody... This is all he manages. What he manages is he manages to make everyone quit. And I'm one of, like, 2 people left that were around 3 years ago. And everyone else is leaving. Like, all of the bosses, all of the lower level employees, like yours truly, all gone. So, you know, we have work to do and not enough people to do it, and thus we are left with people who are annoyed at doing the volume of work, and they can't get rid of us because that would be shooting themselves in the foot. Sorry, selling the dogs. Oh, about the straight thing. Yeah, straight thing. Yes. That is not something I learned in college. That is something I made up 2 seconds ago. But I appreciate you going with it and thinking that it's some sort of boon of knowledge. It's not, but you know, I appreciate that. Oh crap! What the? Oh, it's doing it again.
This man better hope my food is fucking warm and doesn't have any bite taken out of it.
Yeah, that's what he was doing while he was driving down 95 in the wrong direction. He was just eating your food. Oh, look, another one. Hey, has anyone checked on Ukraine lately? Um, like noonish. He could do to eat. Okay. I can take care of it in like an hour and change. Well, he usually eats at dinner time, so he could definitely eat now. But you eat your food first. Okay, thank you. I love you. There's still Ukraine. Yeah, for now. They're still there on Google Maps. It still says Ukraine. Somebody needs to edit the like metadata for the page and change it. Okay, so we've built a road. That's. Let me just. Oh, am I still on screen view? Yes, I am. We've built a road. Goals, scenery, castle, farm area. We also need to just start planning out our goals for the rest of this. I mean, we need to think about what we're doing. And we have, an hour and 10 minutes left of this, and I don't know what I want to embark on that I think will be finishable in time. I guess I can finish filling this in. I could go and mark off certain areas that. I mean, I definitely don't think it's going to work out for them, but I think it's a pretty high likelihood something's going to happen if we are talking about Ukraine. Taiwan is also listed as country. Well, good. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's still the Soviet Union, so everyone knows the Simpsons gag, except it's real life. If anyone else watched the UN meeting earlier, it's basically that, but in real life. Okay, so I want to put this over here. So, yeah, no. You know what? I'll take it. I heard that one of the like developers for Paradox who was doing the localization. Oh no, sorry, it was a mod developer for Hearts of Iron that was doing the Chinese localization. Got arrested by like the Chinese government or some police because they didn't know what he was doing and they like thought he was a terrorist or something, which is crazy. But the crazy part is that he was in, which is it's crazy, and I can understand like in another country like getting a talking to. You Google search certain things and enough of them, surely somebody will show up at your door and be like, "Excuse me, let's talk." But you do that in China, apparently you go to jail for like a month, like 28 days is what the guy said he was in jail for not doing anything wrong, just while he was being investigated. That's some serious stuff. When will this run be on the download station modified? Modified? I'm not sure what you mean, but it will be on the download station. What's that?
2 wings and rubber bands.
2 wings and 2 rubber bands. I do remember Brady. That was a great discussion. Um, I don't know what that did to my social credit, but you know, nobody's knocked on my door yet. If I suddenly stop posting videos, assume I've been thrown in jail. But don't assume regular jail. Just assume I've been thrown in horny jail. Because that's probably where I belong. And Gloria will be there too, surely. I like having the multi-part discussions. Yeah, Chinese gulag. Well, I think it was just a regular prison. I probably want to put shrubs over on the other side because you can see it. Yes, the route is going to be on the download station. In fact, this copy, basically, I will ideally be getting this thing on the download station next, like between this episode and next episode. Next episode may well be me getting it on the download station, and then getting Trains 2022 up and running. I may do that between episodes. I don't know. I really only have like 3 hours to dedicate to this thing every week. So, will that be a televised event or not? Who's to say? For those of you who have never put anything up on the download station, maybe this would be a good time to learn. And I can be your guide. And I have placed trees almost in the river by accident. Gonna continue putting stuff over here. I just see fence with grass, which seems like it would be awesome. I'm gonna put this down somewhere and look at it. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. I'm gonna have to use that in the future. So now we've filled this in except for like a spot that I think is just going to be bare hillside. And I have these 2 wings. I guess I'll eat them. They are cold. It's really freaking good though. Depends who wins the war. That's a joke. That's a joke. Ace just gave me a little write-up of stuff. My question, I guess I needed to rephrase my milk train question because everyone's giving me the part of the answer that I already know. Like, I know how the trains themselves operated. It's sort of the next step in the process that I'm curious about, that I don't know about. Which is like okay, where do the milk trains go when they're done? Like, what is the central distribution like? Etc. That is my question, and that I assume there's not as much documentation on because that's the less flashy and interesting part. It's basically what happens after milk train is where my mind is. And I assume the obvious answer is milk truck, but milk truck specifically in the city, like, were there many distributors? Was there one distributor per town, give or take? Not considering competition. Did every town like receive milk that was so I assumed the milk would go to a distributor and then would be given to different towns along the way via a, a train car, you know. I think that a lot of smaller towns would end up getting milk just locally that never gets put in a train. Like certainly Mason's Landing and Mason Valley, even perhaps, would not get milk via milk train. It would probably be via milk truck. It just doesn't have to go that far. So, I'm gonna turn off my camera while I chow down on these things. Give me a second. I'll still be watching the chat, but I just don't want you to see me eating. Yeah, milk company territory wars are probably pretty brutal. I hear that's what's going on in the Ukraine right now. Eastern Ukraine. Putin just really loves 2% milk, and he can't get it in Moscow right now. That's the whole problem. Someone get this man like a gallon of hood, and the world will be solved. You know what's something interesting though? In being more serious, on the milk front, when you're like in rural Pennsylvania or Amish country at least, there's a lot of propaganda. I don't have a better word for it, just advertising for whole milk specifically. And I don't know why. I also don't know what kind of milk that I drink. I get the kind with the blue cap. Sometimes it has a yellow cap and a blue side. It's lactate. It's whatever the blue lactate is. I don't know if that's 2% or not. I don't do milk very often. I'm not a big milk guy, as Andrew Panton might say, because I am lactose intolerant. That's why I have to do lactate. But no, it's not almond milk. Not almond milk. It's lactate. It's cow's milk. It's just the blue. Hold on. It is 2%. It is 2%. Milk is only important for milkshakes. Milk's also important for cereal. Unless you're one of those crazy people who eat cereal without milk. Which, cereal without milk is not a meal, it's a snack. Cereal with milk is breakfast. Like, it's important. It's an important distinction. It's an important distinction. I will eat Cheerios out of the bag all day long, but that is not a meal. I'm not having that for breakfast. If I'm sitting down for breakfast with cereal, it's going to be in a bowl with milk. I eat cereal without milk. What the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you just... Whatever. Whatever. Sure, you do you, man. Put the cereal in the chocolate milk. Oh my god, I feel like we've all done that once, Mopeg. Everything, yeah. You survived the Big E, though. We need a t-shirt that's I Survived the Big E 2022, which is just like a picture of the coronavirus and then like snow coming down. I wanted there to be like a big cleared space like this. That's just like leading up to the castle. So I think I'll mark the edges with grass. I want the castle to be visible from the from the railroad track. So I'm just gonna do this around the edge here. To the author of those books. Yes, no, it was the virus. That actually, it took me about 10 seconds to register what you meant by that, but that's so good. That's such a good idea. We're selling this as merch. Let's go. Speaking of selling as merch, obligatory update on the trading cards. Still waiting on 2 pictures via Graham and his contact. I'm sure those will come soon enough, and as soon as they do, I can finish the Kickstarter and get this ball rolling. I don't want to be too pesty to anybody, but I do need those pictures. So if anybody sees Graham, they can be pesty for me. Tell Graham, if you want the cards, you gotta want the pictures. And I still need to do the poll for I still need to do the poll for the like 1-pack versus 2-packs. I realize I can't go over 2-packs because the excuse me, the donation is it's a different it's a different calculation for the larger donations in terms of how much Kickstarter takes of that. So I can't do like a 3-pack purchase or a 4-pack purchase, without ramping up the costs on those things. At which point it would not make as much sense. It would make less sense to do just 4 individual versus a 4-pack one. So yeah, because it's not like I make extra money off of people buying more than 1 pack. There are only so many packs that I can make. I can make exactly 100. So I just need to get them all out the door, What is this whole thing? So if you have watched any of the Terminus podcast or any of the Locomotive Versus series, we pit steam locomotives up against each other in Versus and Royales. The trading cards are just taking that and turning them into trading cards. All the statistics of those locomotives from steamlocomotive.com, a bunch of style points on them, a picture of the engine, that sort of thing. I can show them off again a little later. I showed them off last episode. I went through all the ones that are coming out. First batch is Steam Star Power. It's trained Pokemon. It's trained trading cards. I mean, it's the closest you're going to get to trained Pokemon. You don't exactly level them up or anything, but you do take them into battle. Last episode I spent a little while ruminating on what would make more than 1 card worthwhile. How do you get... Okay, so let me finish this wing and I'll come back to that thought. How do you get? Well, you can't yet. But if you really want a certain locomotive, you can DM me on Discord, and it's $20, and I'll make a run of cards, 10 cards of the locomotive of your choosing, and I'll send them directly to you. And then you can distribute them how you see fit. I already did that for the SRI crew. I made a pack of... Oh, that is the update that I need to give. Of 1225 cards. So those are actually already on their way to Mason. I received the tracking info for them earlier today. So I'm not liking them because they're cold. I just don't feel like heating them up. They're not going to really get better if I heat them up too much. Is there... Yes. Okay, so I was about to get to that. The first pack is called... The first batch of cards is what they're called. Is called Steam Star Power. It's got 16 different locomotives in it, of which you will receive 5 upon ordering 1 batch. So I probably should open it up to more than one batch being purchased, because in order to even give yourself a chance of getting all 16, you need to order 4 packs. And so I need to sit down with the math again. I may just need to crank up like the shipping cost. I may need to make them like $6.50 or something. But this is sort of a question for the poll, and I'll make the adjustments going forward based on that. Is there a list? Yes, so that's right. There are 16 cards. There are 5 different rarities of cards. Those being standard, which is the most common, because standards. Class 3, Class 2, and Class 1, which are increasing in rarity. Note that just means rarity. It does not at all reflect on where the locomotives came from. It just means rarity. And then legendary cards, of which there are 2 per batch. So there are 2 commons, there are 5 Class 3s, 4 Class 2s, 3 Class 1s, and then 2 commons, like I said. As far as locomotives go, I know this is the question that I've been trying to answer for the last 2 minutes now. Common cards are Everett 11 and LSNI 18. That would be the LSNI 18 that is now at Colebrookdale, the one that formerly ran on the San Luis and Rio Grande, or the Rio Grande Scenic. Class 3 cards are PRR 1361, Western Pacific 94. I've forgotten. You know, let me just look at this and eat my wing real quick. Durango and Silverton 486, Canadian Pacific 1278. That's the one that blew up. And Strasbourg 89. So those are your Class 3 cards. And I'll just share my screen, because why not? Class 2 cards, you have Frisco 1630, Southern 4501, 844, and FEC 148. The Class 1 cards, TMP 610, NW 611, CNO 1309, or WMSR 1309, as the card says. And the legendaries, you've got the Southern Pacific Cab Forward and a New York Central Dreyfus Hudson. So those are your cards in the first batch. Like I said, I already made a bonus, or a list for, a special order for 1225. I'm open to doing special orders, more special orders. They're all going to be 10 cards. They're all going to be $20. One second. Once I finish the cards, once I get those 2 pictures I'm missing, there'll be a Kickstarter which we'll use to fund the printing of the cards. Thank you, Ace. So, even in a game where you are using more than one locomotive card, a game mode where you're using more than one, there's no hiding what you've got, really. Because unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, I guess, or a lot of other trading cards, these have serious amounts of text and identifiers on both the front and back. Yep. Um, so the front side is the side with the picture. It's got all of your style points on it, which is okay for your opponent to see because they're allowed to see pictures of your locomotive, etc. Might be a set of 4501. Well, I'm not sure if I'm game for doing a special order of a card that is already in the batch, because that's going to be one that's going to be sort of a, you can randomly get this card in what you get. Now, if it comes down to after the batch is released and you didn't get one, then yeah, sure, maybe I'll produce a run of 4501 cards. May I suggest something like Southern 630 to do instead? Or one of those other, or any other Southern M's. It doesn't even have to be a locomotive that still currently exists, just one I can get a hold of a photograph of. Which tracking down photographers and asking to use their work is the important thing. Yeah. So here's the thing. There are two things going on here. There's the batches, which are random card packs, a la any trading card game. So, of those 16 locomotives, when you buy one of the packs off Kickstarter, if you buy one of the packs off Kickstarter, you're getting 5 cards, and those 5 cards, I got a ping somewhere. Hold on. Those 5 cards are... I need to turn my webcam back on. There we go. You're going to get 1 common in every pack. 1 standard rarity card in every pack. So every pack is either going to have Everett 11 or LSNI 18. So these are going to be cards that aren't worth a ton because they're going to be just everywhere. If the game gets big, there are going to be a lot of them floating around. And you could probably just use them more of like a currency than anything, because there will still be a limited amount. Imagine if the game gets big, and if there are 100 people out there that want LSNI 18, there are only 50 of them that exist. At least, assuming that we don't do a repeat of that card. But anyway, there are 2 ways to get cards. One is through a special order, which is, like I said, it's 10 cards, locomotive of your choice, more or less, shipped directly to you. They're not going to be numbered or anything. There is a place for them to be numbered. They're going to come with envelopes. You can, again, distribute them as you like, as you wish. I don't even care if you charge for them. If you get them from me for $20 and you end up selling them for $10 a pop to people who really like whatever locomotive it is, that's fine by me. Just getting those cards out there and shuffling them around is enough exposure for me. Y6B. Okay, that would be really freaking cool. I would 100% do a Y6B card as a special order. I'm totally game for that. Now, the other and more important one, because this is what came about first, is doing it like a trading card game. Again, if you're serious about a Y6B card, just DM me and we'll figure something out. Or ping me in the Discord, who cares? Point is, the other way, the more important way, is getting them through card packs in various batches that are going to be produced. The first batch is Steam Star Power. That's the one I just read off the locomotives from. You are going to purchase card packs, and you'll receive 5 random cards. Better than the 4,000. Yeah, they are. I mean, the big boys are overhyped. You'll receive a random card pack. You will receive 1 common, but not 2. So 1 of the 2 commons. And then 4 other random cards. And those random cards can be any other Steam Locomotive card, except you will not receive both legendaries in the same pack. That is just to make things a little bit more fair, I guess. There are going to be very few legendaries out there compared to what else is available. A batch of cards is 500 cards, and 500 locomotive cards of 16 different locomotives. It's not the kind of thing where you and all your friends are going to end up getting lucky and pulling legendaries. It's physically impossible. Out of 500 cards and 100 card packs, 20 of them are going to contain legendaries because there are 20 legendary cards. Not 20 legendary engines, just 20 legendary cards. That's pretty rare, I admit, but legendaries are legendary, and at the same time, part of it I was roped into. The way that Vistaprint does the printing, you can do a minimum run of 10 cards, and this is the way that I had to do things to make the math work. I had to print 500 cards. I had to divvy them up this way. Obviously, there are other options, other alternatives, other ways I could have broken down the math, but this is what worked out. I didn't want to have anything that I produced 100 of. And while the next step down from that may not have been 50, although it may have been, it was important to me that, it was important to me that the math works. Obviously, the math has to work. And I don't want to be fiddling with, every pack has the same card. And if we have 2 of common rarity, that means... Okay, let me go back to the beginning really quick and explain something important, which you guys may have already picked up on. If you have 2 cards of standard rarity, of common rarity, and you want to make sure that every pack has a standard rarity card, you either need to be willing to accept the fact that some packs will have both of them, or you need to have 50 cards per standard. And that's it. There's no way to shake that. And now, once you have that locked in, you don't want any other cards to be less rare than your standards. So all of the other cards have to be made in quantities of less than what your standard cards are made in quantities of. So they've got to be in less than 50. And Vistaprint will do tens. So with the number of things we have, the number of rarities we have to have most common being 50, second most being 40, third most being 30, fourth most being 20, finally legendaries 10 apiece. And then I had to sort of just play with the number of engines in each category to make the math work so that we could print 500, no more, no less. Now, originally, it wasn't done like that, and I had messed up the math. I talked about that last episode, and we had every card pack getting every card pack getting 2 commons, 2 standards, which wasn't really what I wanted. It left a lot less room to go, wow, look what I got in this pack, and less reason to buy more than one, I would argue. Because if you're getting 2 of the same card in every pack, then honestly, that kind of sucks. So, really, while I could play with the numbers a little bit more, I generally don't think that there's a better arrangement than what we've got right now. I didn't settle on it and think, well, I'm settling. It was, wow, I finally made the numbers work. Thank God I found a way to make the numbers work that, isn't completely atrocious, doesn't guarantee everyone 2 of the same card or whatever. Oh, good. You only missed me ranting on how the rarities work and why. It's not it's a little bit technical, a little bit frustrating to deal with. But point is, the rare cards are really rare. If you want a Dreyfus Hudson, that is a 10 out of 500 chance. So if you simplify that down, that's a 1 out of 50 chance. Right? 1 out of 50. And if you break that down into the card packs, it's going to be... I was about to say 2 out of every 100, but that's not right. No, I think I just did my math wrong. 10 out of 500 cards. Well, it's going to be in 10 card packs. Just because of the way that the organization is done. 10 card packs out of 100. So 10% of card packs are going to have a legendary. Are going to have that specific legendary. Actually, that's not that bad. So, I guess I take it back. A 10% chance to get the thing that you want is not bad. And in fact, it may be harder to get. No, they will definitely be the hardest cards to get. I'm not sure why I almost just walked that back. Obviously, they'll be the hardest cards to get. So, yeah, 10% of packs will have a given legendary. 20% of packs will have a legendary. And I haven't really played with the numbers on the rest of it, so I don't know what the rest of it really is or means. Or could mean, I guess. I started playing with a random list generator to figure out what a pack might look like in terms of what you're getting. And there were some fun ones in there. I will 100%... I don't know how much of it I'll have to do by hand and how much of it I'll have to do with the random number generator. I don't want to be shuffling these cards because they're index cards. They're unprotected index cards. So they're shipping with envelopes, or in envelopes at least, because you're going to want to protect them. Or they'll be shipping in an envelope, I should say. Which is how you mail things. I don't know why I'm saying that as a surprising thing. For the special order cards, they are shipping with their envelopes, independently. They're coming, and also there are going to be envelopes with them, because they're coming as a parcel. But in order to send out the packs, I'm going to have to try to cram 5 index cards into one folder, which I don't know if that's going to work. That is something we'll have to find out. Or into one, envelope. Again, might work, might not. We will see. If it doesn't work, that is definitely going to change the equation as to what is the right thing, or what is the best way to ship these things. Because for the packs, they're not going directly to the consumer. They're actually coming to me first, so that I can, well, randomize the cards. I'll be buying them all as one big order, and I think in order to make this work, I'm going to try to get a coupon code or anything, because I'm genuinely unsure if the price that I've put out there is going to cover the difference. I have some wiggle room, but I don't have a lot of wiggle room. Especially once sales tax gets involved, which wasn't accounted for in my initial estimates. But then again, a lot of stuff was not accounted for in my initial estimates, including but not limited to the actual cost of the Kickstarter, what they're taking away, and postage to the people that buy the card packs. But I'm glad that you're into this. I'm glad that you are interested. It's been an interesting response throughout the community of just hey, guess what? We're doing it. We're doing the card packs, guys. And why are those invisible signals there? And I really want to see who buys the darn things. I want to see that we get the um, if we can get the 100 packs ordered, that means that we're firing up those fryers, or revving up those fryers and printing the darn things, and then going from there. Because since we'll be doing it on Kickstarter, at least trying to do it on Kickstarter, we won't be, what's the word? We won't be actually making any unless we get the whole batch ordered. Which, there'll be a couple of them saved for Stephen West, particularly, for letting us do it. I would have loved to have earmarked a pack for everyone that has helped me, but that would be all of the packs gone, so I can't do that. Yeah, I guess the important part of the update is that we have our first cards printed and shipped, which is the special order to Mason for the Pierre Marquette 1225. Just going to the SRI. Hopefully they print correctly, and hopefully they arrive just fine. And yeah, if it works, it works. I I think Gloria is under attack. My spidey sense is tingling. They're yelling from the other room, but presumably the dog's climbing all over them. So that's fun. Anyway. Oh, it's just never mind. It's just Benny. So where are we for time? We are at half hour remaining in the stream. I've actually done a fair amount. I'm not upset with this. I think I need to K28s would be a cool one. If you can sneak that one in, we are batch number 2 is probably going to be a Railroads Online batch, so if there's anything Rio Grande narrow gauge, maybe hold off until that's come out. The other thing is with the Kickstarter, there's going to be a bonus reward, a backer reward. For an extra $2, you can pick what goes in the next batch. So there's that. There's going to be a People's Choice batch, and we shall see how that turns out. Also, let's grab whatever's underneath here. Oh, it's the Forest Floor Darker. But yeah, K28's probably coming in there. K37's, not 36s because they came in the first batch. Maybe we'll pick a. Yeah, you could do a Bumblebee K30 or K28. You could do that if you pick the right locomotive in the right era. Absolutely. That actually would be. What are you doing? Hope we didn't come in here to pee on the floor. So, yeah, you could do that. That would be a good idea, I think. F to pay respects. Okay, so what else can we put in there? Oh, another one. Wow, they're really all over the place today. Remove. Yes, garnering more support indeed. Let me pull up my doodad again. Goals scenery. So we've got the goals documentation, organize, ideas doc. Which, speaking of which, we need to go into the ideas doc really quick, so let's switch on the screen again. And I need to write down that stuff about the, ideas is over here. Milk trains. Creamiest to Gilson City. and are distributed from there. Although I need to recheck one bit of what A said up here. Yeah, the cars would be, yeah. Um, uh, these creameries, add more creameries along. That's not how you spell creameries. Along GRR. Milk trains run overnight to Gelson City and are distributed from there. We don't need to worry about the milk commodity. We've already squared that away. Well, let's see. We've only got 4 cars. This is just all gonna. You know what? It's all just gonna go to Gelson City. That's it. Just to make things simpler. Yeah. This does need to be reorganized. Castle Farm area. Baseboards to Bellington. That is our next thing. Which, while we are here, I suppose it is time. I know it's early. Actually, I probably shouldn't jump on that early because I told people to come back for it. So let's just fill in these areas here with whatever. There it is. Let's fill in these areas. Okay. I probably should use lower scale, lower radius on this, actually. Nope, never mind. Higher scale. Yeah, that definitely looks good. Kind of looks like crap. But you know what? Whatever. We can fill in the rest of this with trees. And now I can smooth out the edges a little bit more. Also, I can hold down the button, I guess. Just do what I want. Whoops. You know what? We're going to move that tree. We're going to conserve that tree. It's going up here now. Yeah, just weird section without thing. This side is fine. This side is not steep enough to warrant that. We're going to just copy paste the trees on this side. So, yeah, we will do some map stuff because I think I will make it official that while we do have some stuff to finish on this segment of the map, it's only really stuff that is ancillary to the map as a whole. Maybe we could seed it, but I'm not going to bother with that. Especially considering I don't know what I would do for engines and things like that. The seating is just the trolleys, I guess. And I like the idea that somebody might download this not knowing what it is, and it puts them just on the trolley, and they're looking around going, what the heck? As they drive up and down the coast, because it's just automated, or, you know, up and down the river, because it's just automated. And then they realize there's, like, oodles more map. There's, like, 4 times as much map as they're seeing. They're like, whoa, look at this, it's crazy. I'd like to think that somebody out there is going to get that kind of reaction once this goes up on the DLS. Okay. Castle. Oh, I've got one more piece like this over here. That's right. I'm going to try to keep this on the heavily sloped parts. It'll be shaped sort of like that. I missed a spot or two. And we're not doing grass over here. We will do grass over top of the exposed stone parts, but that's it. I just really want to close up these holes and get on with the map showing off portion of the episode, which is, like I said, the last 5 minutes. So about 15 minutes from now. Although we may go to that a little quicker because I'm going to run out of things to make myself do. It's kind of sad that I named a industry after the visiting dog before I named one after my own dog, but Benny's oil is too good to resist. I think, anyway, just as a name. Okay, now we need to smooth this out. These are the little things that get your map brownie points with a lot of people. Just caring about what the world looks like beyond what you can see from the tracks is, I think, really important, even if it is totally ancillary and ultimately actually rather unimportant. It's the kind of thing where it is nice to go off into the wilderness and find areas where the map maker has clearly cared about the world they're building beyond just the train part of it. And I feel like a lot of maps, a lot of early maps of a lot of people, obviously, because when you're just getting used to the game and building, it doesn't come naturally, really. I would admit. It just goes with modeling in general, it doesn't come naturally. You have to learn a lot. How do I make stuff realistic? What does this look like in real life, and how do I replicate it? You know, you may be modeling something that you yourself are admittedly kind of unfamiliar with, and thus you need to seek out resources. And beyond that, you need to seek out techniques in order to make that a reality. You need to seek out techniques even if you do know what you're modeling, because you don't necessarily know how to translate that from what's in your head or what's out your window to what's here in front of you. Should have done more ranges. I would love to see a fuller release of the map. Well, you've been making your gory and defeated stuff, which is really cool on its own. I definitely can't knock that. Welcome back, Mopac. We are about 15 minutes till looking at the map. T-minus 15 minutes. Are you going to just use existing ones? For now, I'm going to be using a mix of whatever's available that people have put together for me and whatever is available on the DLS, etc. when I go to start automating things. But that is, I wouldn't say a long time coming, but it's a time coming. I think that when we go into the next section of the route, we're going to be looking at probably, hopefully, an hour of construction in an episode, an hour of AI in an episode, and then an hour of whatever else needs the most attention. So that could be 2 hours of construction, it could be 2 hours of AI, it could be, I would assume most of the time it's going to be 2 hours of AI, but there will get to a point where we're doing an hour of AI, an hour of construction, and an hour of industry and documentation work in one episode, which I think is reasonable enough. And I'm going to prioritize the construction more than anything because that's the big ticket item, obviously. Okay. Oh, I missed a spot. There we go. Oh, and I should have done... I need to do bushes along the edge here. And in here. Oh, man. I missed a lot of bushes. Now, give me the shrub spline. I mean, that's not that much of a pipe dream. There are plenty of people out there that pick up 3D modeling. It's not easy, I would say, but it's definitely not the hardest thing to learn. I'd probably pick that over, like, learning an instrument. At least there's a, like a bona fide right and wrong. You're just learning skills to make something into reality. I feel like a lot of people do pick up 3D modeling, and they make things where even if they aren't perfect, I was talking about a little bit of A, a little bit of B. I'm talking about everything. But in particular, I was talking about for the 3 hours thing. Yeah, that I'm talking about making this map. But Matt has been making some custom rolling stock and things like that. I know there's a fella on the Discord who has been making lots of really great models, but doesn't know how to import them into trains, or just doesn't want to bother. So they just sort of exist in model space. Nonetheless, they're cool to look at. If somebody ever wants to team up with that person and try to get those into trains, that would be very cool. I believe it's Evan. Because that would open up a world of possibilities. Right now, they're just 3D models that exist to look at. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I'm sort of running out of steam here. I'm running out of things to fill the time with, as I run out of things to fill the map with, while we wait to burn down to the point where I talk about the map itself. I probably should just cut this as soon as I... Well, now I'm in the middle of doing this. I can't give up in the middle of doing this. Cut this work and just go and export this as a CDP and go hang on to it. Because then I can upload it straight away, but I think I want to upload it after we fix the trolley problem, if there is a trolley problem. And I was about to say, I guess I never came back here, but I did. And you guys know what I mean by trolley problem. Talking about the 24-hour 24-hour doodad. I need to not let there be that much silence, though. I can get on rambles about certain things, and it's sort of a question of, okay, is this worth hearing about? Is this worth talking about? At the end of the day, it's about not having dead air. If you have, like, I've heard a rule of 3 seconds, as in, you want to fill that air with something in 3 seconds. And 3 seconds on a viewer's side seems like an eternity. On a broadcaster side, it feels like nothing at all. It's the time to process like 1/3 of one thought. But yeah, if you can play a piano, you can 3D model. Absolutely. I'm sure those skills transfer perfectly, and that's exactly what I meant. But in seriousness, it's just the kind of thing. It takes practice. It takes work. It takes... some people can get into it a little quicker because they've got a knack for it, but if you spend time around computers for a long time, you're going to figure it out. You're going to be able to turn a hypothetical something into a digital something. And that's the kind of thing you can, there's a right and wrong there. You can check your work, whereas there are plenty of things that it's like, oh, I don't want to try to do that, because if I try to do that, I'll, you may never know if you're screwing up, like writing, right? Oh, I'm not going to try to be a good writer. I'm not into writing. It's like, okay, you know what? It's fair to not want to be a writer, uh, for the concern that you may never know if you're doing it right until publication day comes, whatever. It's subjective. Whereas making good 3D model, there are subjective aspects, but there is 100%, if you're making a model of a real life locomotive, you take those diagrams and you make something with them. There are diagrams. There are hard numbers that you are crafting something to fit. It's like, I would say, in a way, it's like making a key versus picking a lock. On the one hand, you can pick a lock. You can get real good at picking locks. You can get into just about anything in, 2 minutes or less. And there isn't really a wrong way to pick it as long as you're getting the door open. And there isn't necessarily a wrong way to play a trumpet as long as you're getting the sound out. But there are better and worse results, you might say. At the end of the day, picking a lock, as long as you get the door open, you get the door open. So it's not the best example, not the best metaphor I could come up with, probably. But it's a metaphor. And I think that, if you can pick a lock, you can pick a lock. If you can make a key, you'll know if that key is right or not. It will definitely be right, or it definitely won't be right. And there's very little guesswork going from there. Maybe the door kind of opens. Maybe you got to jimmy a little bit to get it to work. But if it works, it still works. You might have made a 3D model, but you've still made a 3D model, and as long as your numbers are right, you're right. I keep adding grass and take it away because I don't know what areas I want to be grass and what areas I don't want to be grass up here. It's like the saying, if you can dodge a piano, you can dodge a 3D model. It's from that old movie, Model Ball. I definitely want this area to be grass. I just deleted some grass instead of placing grass. Cool. That's exactly what I wanted to do after I said I wanted this area to be grass. Okay. Fill this in. With the grass. Now, I do want this area, I want most of this area to be grass. If you can dodge a piano, you can tune a fish. Exactly. Thank you. I don't want any of this to really be filled with trees in any significant capacity. I want there to be a line of sight up to the castle, like I said. So this area has got to be all grass, which I think I will illustrate by making it all grass. And maybe when I come back to this at some point, probably next episode, because who knows how long I'll be able to stay away from this. Who knows how addicting placing baseboards and drawing a shoreline is going to be. It's going to be real rough. And that's assuming... Hi, Benny. Hi, Benny. Go on. Good boy. That is assuming that we have made it into 2022, basically. I should just go download that immediately after this. So we've got this farm area here, and some of this is going to be cleared and some of it is not. The real farm part is going to be down here, I guess. It's going to be a very small farm. Did you just... Hey! No. No. He just knocked my. He just tried to eat my chicken bone from my thing. No. I'll feed you in like 5 minutes. Don't try to eat my food. If you can see him, good lord. Oh, and I was still in screen mode. Benny, you son of a gun. Lay down. No, he's gonna get down. You pain in the butt. Look at you. Okay. It's time to bring up the map. And there he goes. Back to being with Gloria. So, you do much worse than the big boy skinned up and advertises a DMNI or Yellowstone. Well, people try. Okay, so map time. Let me save this. Save this. That's where we stand. And I'm actually going to close out of trains because we don't need it open anymore. Well, you know what? I'll keep it open for demonstration purposes. I'm going to zoom out to over here. Spin this around so north is north. I'm going to center it just about, just to center it. Let's see. We need pictures. We need maps. Maps. Down here, Tolbrand. This is the paint.net image. So that'll take a minute to open. There it goes. Never open this real quick. So we're back. This is where we are. You can see Tolbrand here, what we've made. Inside the dotted line is the area that matters, and I still need to finish filling in the mountains down here, or the Dorado field, as some people have called it. We are going, it's going to be a longish segment. This is our plan. We're going from here in Mason's Landing all the way down to Bellington here. It's about 15 miles. It is a little bit longer than from here to here, sort of as the crow flies. But it should be about the same distance in terms of trackage, depending how straight we end up building. And like I said, we're going to pull away from the coast. The coast is going to be more or less level. We are going to move onto like a southwesterly tack here. We're going to be able to see some hills in the distance probably, but we're going to be going through fields. There's a little stop here, a town here that we don't have a name of yet. We don't have a name of. And then we're going to be on to Bellington. Bellington and South Bellington. So this is, honestly, Bellington and South Bellington is going to be the difficult part of this, because it's two conjoined towns. I don't really have much about them. Originally, Bellington was going to be like a typical, almost like a Ellis, Kansas, just a grain elevator with a tiny town in the middle of nowhere. But I need to do some brainstorming on what this is going to be. There's probably going to be some decent milling, at least in South Bellington, because it's on the river here. So you're going to farm stuff here. This is the end of the Mansfield Branch Railroad, which is this purple line, which is our like only Class 2, I guess you could call it. Although this is probably a Class 2, even though it's long down there. Well, this, and this are probably Class 2s. And I don't know. I don't know what's Class 2, Class 3, Class 1. If this is the smallest railroad on the map so far, the smallest planned railroad on the map. I keep going into DMs. Don't mean to do that. Name of the town, Waluigi Town. Well, I've seen the intercrossing network of track that is due south of Olive. Yeah. This guy here. So are you just talking like on the map, or are you talking in the This dog is starving. He's just a pain, is what he is. Because we have just this shenaniganry pulling into the yard here. Um, yeah, what else? What else did I want to say? There were some questions I wanted to answer. I thought. Um, if anybody's got any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, south of Mason's Landing. Yeah, the the way that this whole area is, I mean, this is a mess. This is going to be a lot of like, you're going to have like a shelf up here, and this is going to cross this on a bridge. Um, Likewise with this is going to be much higher than this. And this is just basically a tangle of stuff because there's a bunch of logging camps up here. There are a couple of mines, and there is a tiny amount of traffic, like through traffic that gets transferred twice, that gets brought in here or brought in via barge here, put on freight narrow gauge freight cars, and then transferred to standard gauge freight cars here, and then sent out to the north, or brought over to here and then sent out either, or sent out in a more convoluted way. I would think honestly, this coming from Summit, especially if we make the paper mill at Summit, there may be some things that actually go the long way onto the narrow gauge and around and down to the lake here, because even though you can go from Summit over past Columbia, past Skyline, out to Larrabee and Massasoit, well, you can't go to Massasoit anymore, Larrabee and Addison Springs, there are really no transload facilities here to speak of. Larrabee is just a location, and Addison Springs is a tiny, dying mill town with basically one industry left. Yes. Can I help you?
Feed him, and I figured it'd be easier if you were holding him.
Okay, I will hold him.
Come on, you. I'm gonna grab his heart.
Yeah, he was surprisingly reticent to eat his wet food as just wet food. Just give him one scoop. Wheatland. Wheatland is actually kind of a funny name. I have heard rumors about that, but until they lay tracks, I am not putting bets on Strasbourg building particularly anything. They're a little bit caught up in the things that they're doing. But anyway, the interesting thing with the idea of, okay, so left side running would be on. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, so the steel mill is in Zion. Tombstone is too small for that. The thing about left side running is it would go from Zion all the way out, and east of East Tidebow here, West Tidebow, west of West Tidebow, this would be normal right side running. Or this actually is probably single track all the way until we're at Jones over here, and it's probably used exclusively for coal drags or coal trains going. Gotcha. Benny, eat your food. Going to the power plant in Saugus or Clayton or something. I forget where I was having the power plant. Let's go to the ideas really quick. Yeah, Clayton has the power plant. So there's going to be a substantial amount of traffic that's coming from the coal fields, particularly the coal fields in Skyline, or sorry, the coal fields in Columbia, because they're some of the richest on the map. Run through trains that are going via Skyline, down through Uniontown, Tidebow, along this run here, this way here, which is much more hilly than this, through Tombstone, and finally into Clayton where the power plant is. So yeah, this is probably single track. Um, Everything else, a good portion of this is double track with left side running, and this is like a 6-track stretch through here. So, you know, just to come back to that. Let's throw the VMR line into Gilson City. All right, I'll cover that really quick. So this is what's known as the DAM line, DAM, not DAMN. Obviously, there's the DAM. So I had this written down somewhere, and I can pull it up, but I'll give you the abridged version instead for now, which is that there was a point in time where the Volga Mountains was going to build a line, as you can tell, into Gilson City and eventually out onto this island here, was their plan. No, Benny. Good boy. They started building from both ends. They made it down to around where the dam is right now, and they built, well, out to the island, which they eventually sold off that. Come on. Good boy. And up to the foothills of the mountains here. At which point they determined, they actually got to right there, they determined they could not close the gap. It was going to be way too expensive. And they abandoned this portion of the line. They sold off this portion of the line, which then the New Shoreham Tramway, no! New Shoreham Tramway eventually abandoned that portion of the line. Benny, stay away from my chicken. You just ate. This line lay abandoned for a long time, and it was reactivated to build this dam, which provides power and fresh water and flood control for Gilson City. And this portion of the line stayed active because there is one customer out here. I don't remember what they are, but they're fairly substantial. And to that end, because they wanted to abandon this, they instead built this little awkward connector, which basically runs through like streets and backyards, to connect them to live rail, because they wanted to abandon all of this. I think this was getting redone. I don't remember what my story was exactly, but it had something to do with it was just getting built over by something. So the dam line is in service because at this time, at the time of Tollbrand, the dam is under construction. And this line is in service because of that one customer, but the VMR never finished their short route into Gilson City. There is a larger backstory to that, which involves a direct line from Gilson City all the way to Akron over here via this, which you can see all this dotted line is abandoned and torn up. This is the old Everett Lake Mining and Navigation Company. And I know you probably have to go out, huh? And when they made an agreement with the VMR to work together, part of it was they were going to run through trains all the way from Gilson City all the way to Akron, which is something that the Zion and Skyline not only beat them to, but was invariably doing better, because their line was not a total disaster piece of engineering. So, yeah, there's that. That's the VMR line into Gilson City. I kind of can't wait to model this just because of how awkward it's going to be. But this is going to be a huge, huge project that's going to see like one train a day, if that. It's going to be an engineering nightmare that's damn near worthless, both in context and within our context of building this route. But, you know, it do be like that sometimes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Under Construction. Keep an eye out for that 24-hour stream coming on Sunday, maybe, or starting Saturday night. We will see. And hopefully we'll be in Trains 2022 next time. Bye, everyone.